virtually unknown person to the field of science, and had this idea about how to approach this difficult problem. And he talked to his old professor, Minkowski, and then he tipped him that I think you better study this. And that was that point already Einstein got a little bit of recognition from something called special relativity that does not use gravity at all. So Minkowski recognized Albert Einstein as a lazy student. He remarked that student was very lazy. It's talented, lazy. That's why I remember. So, but he tipped it because of his accomplishment and helped him. And what Minkowski tipped and Einstein entered is what mathematicians developed to that point, which of the physicists and all the other people who was dealing with the real life problems are criticizing. Those mathematicians are just daydreaming. They're thinking about something that has absolutely no use to the real life. For example, is geometry. So mathematicians, Gauss and Riemann and those people are developing this idea of the curvature. If you look at the curve and how things are curved, measuring how things are curvature. And they're doing this, something called non-Euclidean geometry, something the mathematicians developed because they thought it's a natural way to escape this XYZ plane. Something that we can think about it logically, but something that you cannot visualize. So they entered it, they went in there, they're excited. The entire 1800 period, mathematicians absorbed into developing fifth dimensional, and they went up to 70-some dimensional theoretical development, and they go in there. And everybody just scrutinized, what are you guys doing? This has something no use. Now Einstein delved into that area, accepted the idea of the curvature from Gauss, idea of the curvature from Riemann, and entered this Riemannian geometry and realized that this is it. This is the way the gravitational effect is affecting all the other things. So he used this idea to model his thing and believed, more importantly believed, is not just a model. Einstein believed that idea the mathematicians developed is the way the nature is. Hence he predicted all the other things and experimentally verified one thing at a time. To me, this is the most amazing story to propaganda about the mathematics. The mathematical pursuit has always, this is not only thing, there's a couple other things that breakthroughs is made in physics with this idea. And, some of the physics later on inspired mathematics as well. So, geometry, the graphs of a function, looking at it, try to quantize, how this curve things around, that thing has a fruitful result in history and science and physics. So we're entering that little thing. It's not that complicated. So you look at this, graphs and accept the shapes and the thing, and try to write down mathematical description of what you were looking at. We already did that. The first thing was a continuity. We looked at the graph. Everybody understood the kind of everyday notion of a function being continuous. And it wrote down mathematical version of continuity. So, who remembers